I'm not quite sure whether I'm embarrassed, whether I'm flattered, or whether I'm just deeply touched by the way people are now looking at frontline heroes in the UK.
What are you talking about?
My recent trip to Sainsbury's.
Oh, yeah. I think you should tell everyone this story.
I think I really should. So there
and
I
they
was.
can decide whether you should be embarrassed or you should be flattered.
Yes. So I went down to Sainsbury's, and these being lockdown times, obviously there's a long queue outside even to get inside. And everybody's standing 2 meters apart, and the queue is snaking around the block almost.
Everyone's following regulations.
Everyone's following regulations. And then suddenly these two people, Sainsbury's workers, they kind of walk up to me with a smile and kind of nudging each other. I had no idea why. And they escorted me out of that long line, took me to the side entrance, to the second entrance, which was close to everybody else. And they kind of guided me and, they said, you may go in from here and do your shopping. I was so puzzled. So I went in quickly. I had no idea what was happening. I went in quickly. I picked up all the stuff. I paid for my stuff and came home, still not being able to work out why I was given the star treatment until I reached home.
And I said, my God, today you look like a nurse.
Is it because I was wearing a dress which I have now christened NHS Blue? I have to tell you, it's my favourite Fenright Mason dress that I've worn 1,000,000 times before. But I think it just goes to show that in this scenario, people are, while on one hand, everybody is kind of grappling with all this COVID-19 nightmare or whatever it is, which is unfurling around the world, there are people who are going out of their way to really help those who are frontline workers. And I didn't cross my mind even for a second when I put on that dress before going to Sainsbury's. But now I'll be careful next time.
By the way, don't change because you forgot to get bread.
Welcome to the Shabby and Man podcast. We are partners, parents, podcasters, broadcasters.
And everything else in between.
And this week, we are going to talk about life in lockdown after week 1.
Yep, a whole, 7 days now?
7 days.
Or 5 days.
It's all a blur.
We don't know, it's a blur, absolutely.
It's like coming back from a party after a Friday night when we were teenagers.
Have you noticed, by the way, there's no such thing as Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night?
Yes. So it's all the same.
Nobody went to sleep early on Sunday night.
Yeah, we didn't have any of our routine things that we do on a Sunday. For me, it is, of course, ironing children's uniforms, making sure that we've all synced our diaries, we know what we're doing for the coming week, packing lunchboxes, none of that done.
That's right, there was no mention of tension.
Yes. Let's talk about how it has been for us at work, at home, and also all the other stuff going on.
You made these sub-compartments?
I have. In my mind, I still have to have these compartments.
There was work, play, eat, food.
Yes. For the sake of my own...
Everything is in the same room.
But for the sake of sanity, I still have to compartmentalize work and family life, although it's all happening in the same location, as you're saying. Working from home.
Working from home. Now, I have
what do you think about it?
I have to, with my laptop, find a
quiet corner and do your work. Yeah.
And the odd conference call.
Yeah.
It's quite a palaver.
That's true. That's because I'm broadcasting from home.
It's broadcasting, absolutely.
And while it's daunting and challenging on one hand, it's also exhilarating and absolutely thrilling to know that you can sit in any part of the world and access this very, very sophisticated broadcasting software that we use at our radio station and do your show from...
No, it's quite mind-boggling when you think that someone in Northern Ireland or Wales or Scotland or England just flicks the radio and hears you.
Yeah.
And you're sitting on the bed.
Yes, and I'm kind of recording it in our smallest room that we could find because that is best for sound.
That's
Naturally,
true.
Homes are not soundproofed. So when the idea was first broached to me, I freaked out. I said,
actually, do you sit on the bed or you sit on a chair?
I actually sit on the bed. Oh. But when the idea was first broached to me, I freaked out thinking that I'll never be able to do this. But I am enjoying it. Nonetheless, still missing all the buzz that I get from my routine, which is traveling to the studio and all the other bits and bobs, going to a cafe for prep, meeting my friends, meeting my colleagues at work. All of that obviously still...
You mean it's not the same?
It's not the same from any
But
angle.
it's great fun. I've
got into a routine. I like it.
I say fun in the loosest sense of the word, because in these circumstances, nothing is fun. Really.
Yes, yeah. And not just that, when I'm broadcasting, because I'm actually going on air, nobody can actually make a lot of noise in the house. So fortunately for us, our kids are fast asleep because they have completely switched to a different time zone from GMT or BST.
Sorry, what about me?
Yeah. You've had your coffee, we've had our coffee, and 3 घंटे आप आराम से बैठ के अपना news headlines देखते हैं. I'm sure इसमें कोई problem वाली बात नहीं.
I'm watching stuff with subtitles on.
Yes.
So I don't make any noise.
Yeah, that's right, because audio is very important for radio, you see. How do you think the kids have adapted? They're 15 and 12. They are being set homework every single day.
You were quite shocked. You thought that, we'll have to tell them study, but they've been doing it themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, I think they're doing it themselves.
I think psychologists say that it is human nature to think that when you are given a lot of freedom, you have a long list of things that you want to do, right?
Exactly.
But when that day arrives, when you have the freedom to do all the things that you wanted to do once, you realize that maybe it's not such a big deal. I thought that outside of a classroom scenario, these kids will really have to be
I was just going to say,
nudged.
explain it to me. I didn't
वही कह रही हूँ कि अगर स्कूल में टीचर नहीं है सामने हाथ में रूलर लेके कि पढ़ो होमवर्क करो ये करो, if there's nobody being given detention for not doing something, will they actually find the will in themselves to do it? And they have. I'm so impressed. More so with my 12-year-old, because he gets up first thing in the morning, he gets his assignment for the day out of the way. 15 साल.
So you think all kids are like this?
I'm sure, because
I don't think I was like that.
No, I'm sure even I wasn't. But nonetheless, we are blessed and grateful that our kids have been, and I'm sure so are their friends, because their friends are all online. They're chatting about the work.
That's one thing they do that we never had the perk of doing.
Yes.
They do their homework with their friends. Talking through one ear.
Discussing what they're looking up, what they're told, what they've been asked to research, all of that. And the 15-year-old, of course, lives in a different time zone now. When we're having lunch, he's barely up for breakfast.
I remember when I was their age, I had to make up excuses or lie or something, say I'm going to the library to study.
Yeah.
Just so
Where did you actually go?
I can't remember. Oh. I doubt it was a library.
So even for them, I think, and
I was probably watching the 9 o'clock show in Malayalam.
Oh God! What in Finchley?
No,
Edgeware?
India.
So in your Himalayan boarding school?
Yeah, Malayali films. Kabhi Hindi film dekha tha. First show, 912.
That's a lot of money your mom and dad wasted then, sending you to a posh boarding school. But anyway, we're talking about our kids. We're talking about the lockdown scenario. And we're talking about how life has changed in the last 7 days. Radically.
Of course it has. When did we last have lunch together on a weekday?
That's right. We're eating one extra meal together as a family. And I was quite amused by the fact that we're all moaning about a lack of human interaction. We've not seen our friends. We've not seen our neighbors. We're not allowed to go and chit-chat with them. But I think there is too much interaction between family members. Not enough doors in the house to shut, to separate people.
And what about these new apps that we've been forced to learn overnight?
That's right.
House Party,
Zoom, Hangout.
WhatsApp you liked.
WhatsApp I did like.
The fact that we can...
Conference call.
I don't think you can call too many people at the same time, but if you can call your mom, my mom...
Yeah. If you can just get the family together,
that's quite
all
nice.
On one app.
Yeah.
And I think we're also making an effort now to get our one window of exercise that we're allowed every single day. And ironically, while I'm ticking 10,000 steps every single day last week, I'm eating that much more as well, simply because I'm home. A lot of the times we're quite
There's a lot of munching and nibbling going on.
Yes, there's a lot of snacking going on. And I mean... You were talking about the rest of the world coping with COVID-19. We're not the only ones in lockdown, right?
Half the world probably.
And all of us are glued to the news. So, I mean, there was one point that you and I disagreed on.
What was that?
Don't you remember?
Out of the many points, what was that?
Many points.
Remind me.
No, which is specific to COVID-19, specific to the lockdown scenario. Every celebrity or every person under the sun is rolling out videos and tutorials on how to do Pilates, how to make apple tart.
Everyone's at home.
No, but I was thinking that it's all very well. The people can cope with this the best way they want. I mean, I'm not judging anyone. What I'm saying is, will somebody who actually wants to learn Pilates actually now suddenly watch their celebrity do it and suddenly get the will to clear out the room, get the Pilates mat or whatever you need for Pilates?
What about Joe Wicks? For those who don't know, Joe Wicks he's a motivator, he's a fitness guy. He even writes cookbooks now.
Best-selling cookbook author, right?
On eating lean, getting fit and eating healthy.
Yeah.
And he's done something for kids in the morning.
Yeah.
Even our youngest one is watching it. I think 15 million people watched him over the week or something.
Now that is
Everyone's getting fit.
Yeah, so that is incredible. And I have a lot of respect for Joe Wicks because he also said all the profits that he makes from this online class, he's going to donate to the NHS.
I know everyone we know is doing recipes.
Yeah. Learn how to play classical music by watching my video tutorial. How does that even work?
It's for people who have the basic. They're not saying that you wake up one morning and say, today I'm going to be a violinist.
Yes, a pianist, a javelinist.
Tomorrow I'm going,
Javelinist. To go back to our podcast from 2 years ago when we did a podcast with the kids.
I can do 4 balls,
All right, we won't go there. It's been a while since we recorded a podcast with our children. We did one 2 years ago, but I think now they've passed that age where they can be bribed into doing a podcast with us.
You know what comes after bribery?
What is that?
Force.
Which is?
You force them to do it.
No, they're growing up in this country. They're going to probably say, Mom, Dad, if you force us, we can call Childline or social services or something like that. Anyway, the lockdown scenario has been quite interesting. There are rumors right now. This we might be in it for the long term.
Yeah, we heard 6 months.
6 months. And you said to me that one of the first people who've suddenly emerged on every platform, on every show, on radio and TV, to help the nation cope with this long-term scenario. Did you say they're psychologists, psychiatrists, or they're people, therapists?
Yeah. They're saying that one of the main problems that people might face, maybe not now, 1 week, 2 weeks, but later on, is mental health.
Yeah.
Being cooped up all the time.
Even normal people who regularly don't struggle with mental health issues. For your time-tested, time-honored, deeply rooted routines and traditions to completely have them overturned virtually overnight for us, right?
And I'm a great lover, so are you, of routine.
Yes.
And we are trying to stick to a routine here to keep things going.
Yeah.
But if your routine just goes out the window, it's not easy
for such a long time.
Yeah,
for 6 months. Because they're saying that the COVID-19 pandemic is such that even after death rates start coming down and they find a way to cope with it, they're not going to let everybody have their freedom overnight. It's all going to be done in stages. So maybe then, you would be allowed, they would probably allow a bigger group of people to go out together, or whatever it is, whichever way it's got to be step by step. It's not going to be that one fine day you're told, right, you can just go back to normal where you were.
Have you been watching the news? Do you have any thoughts on the lockdowns in other countries? I'm specifically thinking about how in India there was only 4 hours notice, I think.
Yeah.
I think 8 o'clock in the evening it was said that by midnight
and
nothing
there were
will
those
run.
horrific scenes of those poor villagers trying to all go back to their villages, and there's massive.
That's really sad.
Massive
I think they're now being Dettoled with a hose or something.
Yeah, that is really sad. But I think every country is trying its best to cope with the scenario, although some parts of the world are still living in denial, right? Certain parts of Europe, obviously not Western Europe, which is the hotbed, which is the epicenter. But certain parts of Europe...
I was saying, a certain premier said that drink vodka and go for a sauna.
And that's going to take care of
And that's going to take care of it.
Yeah. When 2020 started, nobody saw this coming.
Of course not.
Right? Everybody thought, start of a new decade, new year, this is going to be the year that changes it all.
2020 has had its Brexit, then it's had one hurricane after another hurricane after another hurricane.
Yeah. But you know what? People are saying that no matter how long the lockdown scenario lasts, we've only experienced 1 week so far, right? Whether it's a couple of months, whether it is 6 months. Already saying that let's go back to normal sounds...
There is no such thing as normal anymore. Probably.
That normal is not normal anymore because everybody has had to adapt.
This is a once in a lifetime thing. I don't think we'll see this again in our
everybody's praying. Let's hope that our children don't ever see it either, because this is really, it's a matter of...
I think Spanish flu was roughly about 100 years ago.
Yeah.
So it comes once every
century to kind of remind human beings that we are all in it together. It doesn't matter how rich you are, doesn't matter how large your fleet of cars or aeroplanes or whatever you have, doesn't matter color of skin, race, nationality, age, none of this matters. I think it is a great leveler.
No, but they have some advantages, rich people. They can afford to get tested again and again.
Oh, I thought maybe you were going to say they can afford to get their food ordered from Ocado and Waitrose. That as well. But yeah, they can afford to get tested. But I think everybody's kind of learned now that, unless everyone pitches in, this is not going to go away. This will not be contained. And that is a big, big lesson for humanity.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up. It's on a somber note. I like to... Something jolly, some good news we should finish with.
Yeah.
You think of anything? I'll tell you some good news.
Yes.
We'll be back next week. We'll be back very soon, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it because we have all the time in the world?
We have all the time.
How about signing off? Yeah, signing on might be a possibility.
Who knows in the next 6 months? Yeah.
If jobs go over 6 months. But signing off by picking out something that has really caught your fancy.
Well, I've told you that I can juggle.
Yes.
So I will stand outside. You can do. I will juggle, play the guitar, that others busk. What will you do?
Listen, that'll barely buy us a bunch of bananas, yeah, if you buy your juggling, if that has to run the household. I don't know what I'll do, I'll figure out later. I can give broadcasting lessons. But listen, anything you've watched on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or the news that has caught
we have watched so many videos of people trying to cook,
so
play the
what
piano.
Is it that has... So did you like all of them? I watched a lot.
Nothing registered.
Nothing registered?
No.
I loved one video that I saw and I posted it on my Facebook as well.
And what was that?
Which was one of my all-time favorite groups, Lady Antebellum. All the members, there's 3 singers and all
I've
the
seen many like
musicians.
that. Yeah.
All of them practicing social distancing and self-isolation. All of them in their own houses. So you see little videos of them
all at once.
And belting out, I Will Run to You. And the beauty of it is that...
I Will Run to You. I thought that was Bride Adams.
And Lady Antebellum as well. See, I Run to You. Not I Will Run to You. I Run to You. And all of them, even though they are recording it I'm sure they all have professional software and gear in their own house. They are musicians. But nonetheless, from different locations, 8 different locations, 8 people collaborating on that one track, award-winning track. And the song sounds just as good. Absolutely amazing.
Lady Antebellum mein 8 log hain?
3 singers hain, lekin there's somebody who's playing the piano, there's somebody who's playing the chan karne wala.
Oh, you mean guest artist?
Guest artist, nahi.
Session musicians?
No, the rest of the musicians.
You mean the rest of the band?
The rest of
that we don't know about.
Thank you very much. Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
Oh, before we were going, I was going to say, please don't forget to subscribe and all the other blah, blah, blah that we have to say, which I've forgotten.
Subscribe, like, review, rate, recommend.
Perfect. Thank you very, very much. See you again very, very soon. Bye, Bolde.
Look after yourself. Stay safe. Stay in.
Oh, yes. Very important.
And we'll see you very soon.
Bye-bye now.